right after that, you know what I mean, getting out of jail, it was like this, I lost everything. I had to pay for the attorney. I lost everything. I had less at a year clean than I had when I first picked up my white key tag. Financially and everything, it was a bottom. And had to live on one of my boys' 1-bedroom apartments on the couch. Had roaches, we had mad sneakers though. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you go through the catalog of any picture I've ever had since I was young. I had mad sneakers. I always had a fresh fit. Now that I'm older, I'm just like, yo, I could have invested all that, but whatever. But I look fresh nonetheless. Now, we had mad sneakers, and I went back to college, man. And it was crazy because like, I had, I'm always good with like numbers and, and those type of theories and stuff like that. I never took a SATs, never took a formalized, test or whatever. And I went back to school, did horrible on the placement test. So I had to start a basic math classes, basic, like fractions, bro. Mm-hmm. Before algebra, before pre-algebra. Yeah, dog. So I had to start real rough. And I just kept going, man. And along the journey, you get around these hecklers, these jokers, that don't know how to encourage people, that always want to deflate people's dreams, and they would like make, be like, yo, man. I was like, they would ask, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I want to be like either banker, like finance banker, like, or an accountant or whatever, international banking, blah, 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 whatever. And then they would laugh at me. They'd be like, come on, man, you got a fucked up record, blah, blah, blah. And they would just clown me. And, and it would hurt my feelings, It would hurt my feelings. And I would go to the meeting and I would fucking share and I'd be cussing everybody out and I would be throwing up at the meeting. And at the end of the meeting, people would come up to me and, give me a hug and, and tell me, yo, lost dreams awake and new possibilities arise, man. You know what I mean? And I would hear that and it would give me hope. And then I would go to another meeting and I would hear somebody said, I'm living my life beyond my wildest dreams. And I would like, yo, man, I would be like, yo, that shit like empowered me. It's crazy because just the other day I had this conversation about this. The illest part about those two sayings is that when you realize that lost dreams awaken and new possibilities arise, when you have that awakening, you've already lived a life beyond your wildest dreams. It's the illest thing, dog. And if you could get to that point, you don't have to think, because I used to think a life beyond the wildest dreams was the whip. I used to think that life beyond the wildest dreams was like the girl, the chains, the sneakers, the trips, the fancy dinners, you know what I mean? The cool shit that I was doing. I thought that was the life beyond the houses. Yo, life beyond my wildest dreams was the awareness that I could dream. That in itself was the gift, bro. What I did after that was my selfish, what I wanted. You know what I mean? But the hit was in the awareness.
Or just the ability to try. Exactly. You got motherfuckers ain't even trying, bro. Yes. It's like you've been at the same job for 8 years.
Complaining.
And you got a dream. You got this dream in you. You want to go do something corny. You want to go be a ballerina. You want to finger paint. You want to travel to Spain. You want to do something.
Yes.
And you're scared to talk about it because somebody's going to say it can't happen. I don't have enough money.
You're not tall enough. You're not skinny enough. You're not pretty enough. You don't speak clear enough. Because I'm from New York. I got a rough accent. You know what I mean? I love hip hop. I could talk real proper. I'm very educated. Like I went back to school. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Part of that journey is like any good addict, I wanted more. I ended up getting my associate's degree. I ended up becoming a supplement or instructor there, which is cool because like one of my first students is actually my business partner now in my accounting firm. It's cool that I still have that connection with him. I ended up, getting into a scholars program in accounting. A lot of my education was paid through scholarships and grants. Shit that, listen, this is a kid that almost got expelled, never took algebra, you know what I'm saying? Super wild, it was 29 when I went back to school. And I was excelling in this shit that and then I remember in 2008, economy collapsed. I was graduating with my bachelor's and master's at the same time because I was in that program, but I was in my last year, lost my job. My mom was in the hospital. I had just bought a car. At that time, it was like a Chevy Cruze. The payments were high. You know what I mean? And like, I was bugging out, man. And it was another pivotal moment in my journey where I realized that I made that decision to turn my life and my will over to the care of God. That's how I understood.
So I love hearing that because people see you now, you got the dope whip and you got like the fresh sneakers and like the jewelry. And I was like, bro, I remember Mario when he had nothing,
dog. When he dropped off a sofa. He dropped off a sofa so I could have something to sleep on, yo. Talk about the budget. The budget was so tight back then.
What's crazy is I thought you were balling back then. Like, bro, you got your own place, whatever.
I sacrificed because I had, like I made a lot of wise decisions along the journey because, you know what I mean? I picked up, like I don't come from money. My mother was a housekeeper. We come from very blue collar, like even less than blue collar, I feel like, mentality, hourly wage employee mentality. And, along the way, you know what I mean? Like, I saw my mother put money into like real estate and, she made a couple little things for her. Not rich, but she owns her properties, you know what I mean? And I realized that. So I've been blessed a couple of times to be able to do stuff like that. But at that moment in time, like I said, 2008 hit, I lost my job. I had to fucking, I had to work, these real low paying jobs and go to college full time. You met me at a point where like, shoot, man, I didn't even have a bed, man. I was getting divorced at that time. Mm-hmm. I didn't even have a bed and you came and helped me. I couldn't afford, the budget was so tight, I couldn't afford for the delivery on the sofa I bought on credit. That's where I was at. But humbly I asked for help and humbly somebody showed up, bro.
Got you, bro.
Yo, like that part right there goes a long way for me, man, because like that couch, I sprung off into so many things after that. I graduated with my master's in accounting.
What did it feel like to graduate?
So you got people who are always going to say education is blah, 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 whatever. You can make it without education. All that shit's true. You can make it without it. But for me, it was the discipline. It was the fact to actually put a goal in front of me and actually complete it, right? It's something that was hard, because when you graduate with a master's in accounting, you're in the 10% of people who graduate college. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the numbers are small of, in America, like people who have that particular field or that education and stuff like that.
And think about the number of addicts that get clean, that go back to school, that get master's degrees.
Yeah.
So like I always like to see it's like, bro, it's unrealistic that you and I are clean the way that we used.
Facts.
And the fact that you've gone back to school and got a master's degree is like, it defies the odds, bro.
1000%, man. I'm like super grateful for that experience.
Imagine being in jail and be like, which one of these motherfuckers gonna get a master's degree?
Not me. Not me. Yo, I got counted out a long time ago, man. And it's funny because till this day, I still get that. I still get the judgment of people when they see me and stuff like that. Until I open my mouth, you know what I mean? Or sometimes, you get around a lot of like people, because I don't come from that group of people sometimes. And but I end up being the smartest person in the table, and I got the credentials to say it. So bam, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to brag about that, but at the end of the day, you can strip me of everything that I have, but you can't take my education away, man. You can't take my knowledge. And like that's the beauty of like the recovery and journey, because I have knowledge in that, and it's kept me clean through those situations, losing jobs, losing relationships, losing houses, losing everything, man. Because, recovery, it's great, dope, but, it's work, it's very challenging times, as all of us know. My journey through that, man, I've been able to do so much, man. I've traveled the world. I've been in so many different business ventures. I got to learn a lot about myself and relationships.
Bro, you really traveled the world, though.
Yeah, I've really traveled the world.
Like, sometimes people say that, like, yeah, I've been to Costa Rica.
They've been to Costa Rica. They've been to DR twice. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I've actually...
What's the top 5 dopest places you've been?
Top 5 dopest places for me are, I would have to say one of my favorite place to always land and visit would be Barcelona, Switzerland. I love Zurich. Barcelona, I love Croatia, Chile, but like down by Patagonia. And Guatemala is my top one. I love going to Guatemala, man. I go to Guatemala every year. It's COVID.
You're the tallest person there, right?
I'm the tallest Guatemalan ever, yo. Tallest Guatemalan, yo. And I love it. It's beautiful. It's rich in culture, man.